Good evening. Welcome along to our final pre-season show of the Belfast Giants 21-22 season. 543 days since our last game. It's been too long, but it's getting closer. It's getting closer. Only 26 more sleeps before we take on the Dundee Stars in Dundee in the Challenge Cup game on the 25th of September. My name is Simon Kitchen. Delighted to join you all at home tonight or wherever you're watching from. And we're just going to get straight into this tonight. We're going to announce the last two signings of the Belfast Giants roster. We are going to be joined by a couple of familiar faces. And we'll have a bit of a chat as well. If you've any questions that you want to throw out to us and you want Steve Thornton, Adam Keefe, and Jeff Mason to answer, please just jot them down. You can send them in. The guys will put the details on the screen as we go along. And we'll do our very best to answer those questions as well. So as I say, let's get stuck into it. So let's bring on Steve, Adam, and Jeff Mason. And just like that, they appear. Hello, gents. Adam, how are you?
Not bad, Kitchy. How are you doing? Looking like you got a nice tan.
Yeah, the spray tan works. It cost a fortune, but it was definitely worthwhile going away. Mace, how's things in Hollywood now? I think you are.
Yeah, all good. Not quite as nice as Portugal, but all good over here.
And Steve, you've finally sorting the roster out tonight. You must have a little bit of time in your hands now.
Oh God, dangerous words, Simon. No, not a lot of time. The arrival's imminent, which makes us all nervous.
Well, it makes us all nervous, but it also makes us all excited as well. It's been too long since our last game, as you all well know. Adam, obviously, you've been kept busy with little Cora and obviously the World Championships for Team GB over the last while as well. But again, you must be really looking forward to getting on the ice with your team this year.
Yeah, I think definitely Cora's certainly keeping us busy over here. But the World Championships was a nice way to kind of get my head back in the game after a little over a year off. And then obviously now when we're getting this close to the season, the excitement starts to build again, and we're just looking forward to getting the players here and getting started.
Steve, again, you know about the daughter situation. You three of them, and they certainly keep you on your toes.
That's why I have no hair, Simon. I've got a 16-year-old now. I've got that look forward to if it keeps going, I suppose. Yeah, no, it's they're excited to be back in sports in general as well. So as we're all excited about the Giants returning. I think it's great for kids to have things opening up and back in school, which is also fantastic for parents that they're back in school.
Mace, back to school tomorrow, but you've been doing a lot of research with regards to a lot of video for the players that have obviously already been announced and for the guys coming in. You must be looking forward to getting to see exactly what you've ordered on catalog to a certain extent.
Yeah, I think we're really excited. We certainly had lots of time to watch lots of video and do lots of research into this year's recruitment. Spanned basically over many months. And so we're definitely looking forward to getting the guys in, getting them on the ice, and have a good idea of having seen them play on tape and other things and talk to lots of people. But it's always nice to get out there with them and be on the ice and see it firsthand.
Adam, you're going to be busy over the next week or so. You've got the apartments and all to look out for, and you've got the guys starting to arrive in next Saturday, I believe it is, and the 5th, isn't the first guy comes in?
On the Monday.
Adam?
What's that?
Just thought your Wi-Fi might have just dropped off again, but that's okay. Just carry on.
We got nothing but great Wi-Fi up here. I think this week coming, obviously just getting ready for the players' arrival. Obviously, we want things to be ready for them on arrival. So there's a lot to do, especially with the vaccination center just wrapping up their last weekend, the weekend prior. It's all things to go now. We got to get the ice down and get the dressing room ready and get the players ready for their arrivals to their apartments. So there's a lot of things going on here in these next 2 weeks.
And Steve, obviously you know a little bit more about the vaccination centre. How much of an impact they've made for the public in Northern Ireland, and obviously the work that goes on behind the scenes. A lot of people don't see that, but it was a huge success from the SSE staff side of things and obviously the NHS as well.
It was, yeah, and I think everybody's incredibly proud that we were able to play our part in that. And they're still testing in the car park, and there's a mobile vaccination unit outside in the overflow car park as well. So we're still doing our bit. If it helps get Northern Ireland and the world back on track again, and the Giants back on the ice, we'll all be in a better place.
I think we've caught up, and I think we should just dive straight into it. So, you know what? Let's have a look at our first signing tonight. Our latest signing, JJ Pickemich, joins us now. JJ, welcome to Belfast. How did the move come about for you?
It was definitely just more of a mutual, understanding, between me and the team, with Steve, and I think, and Adam as well. And I think it was just kind of, we just had really good conversations about what the team could be next year with me on it, and with all the guys, all the talent that you guys already have, and kind of what it could mean for sides. It was kind of just more like a mutual thing where it could be super positive for both parties, and I was really excited to kind of make the jump. I played in North America for about 4 years pro, so I was kind of got my feet wet in that regard. And I just think that with the professionalism that you guys bring, and with the city and the fans, and just kind of what you guys bring to that area, I was just really excited to move forward as we're Adam and Steve. So I think it was kind of just it was a conversation at first that just kind of blossomed into something more.
You played 1 year in the NCAA with Boston University. There's quite an attachment between BU and Belfast with Steve Thornton and a few other guys who have been Belfast Giants down the line as well. How was your 1 year in Boston?
Oh, it was awesome. I really enjoyed my time in Boston. We had a really good team, and I learned a lot. It was, I was coming in as a 18-year-old freshman, and I think there was maybe like 9 freshmen that year. And we had a really good crew of guys, including the freshman group, and we learned a lot from each other, and we learned a lot on the ice as well. And we fell short of the national championship that year in 2015, but I wouldn't regret it for anything. I mean, it was such a good group, and it was such a rich tradition of hockey there. So safe to say that was really jump started what I'm gonna eventually accomplish, and I'm definitely looking forward to the next step too. So yeah.
You touched on you just came up short in the championship. The following year, you picked up a bit of silverware or goldware in the OHL with the London Knights.
Yeah. So when I made that jump from BU, I definitely reached out to London, and they let me know like kind of what they were seeing. And when I was able to make that jump, it was definitely a little bit of nerves, just as anything else, making the jump. And I just got off to a really good start, and we had a really good team with Mitch Marner, Christian Dvorak, Matt Tkachuk, just to name a few. So I think we did a really good job in London. They have a super rich tradition as well. I've definitely been very fortunate to play on some really good teams, and we kind of took those playoffs and ran away with it. I think we won 17 playoff games in a row that year in 15-16, and we were able to win a Memorial Cup. So whenever you're able to do that and put a ring on it, I mean, that's just something that's super special. And I mean, you never forget those guys, and those guys will be lifetime buddies of mine. And that's kind of the reason why you play is to make lifetime memories. And that was certainly one of those years where just the stars aligned. And I was really happy to be a part of it and be a big part of it. So I'm definitely looking to continue to play roles like that in the future and be on, winning teams.
Well, here's hoping you can continue that on in Belfast. I want to touch on your moving into the professional game. You started out in Orlando. You then got an opportunity in Newfoundland where you picked up a Kelly Cup, and you had a bit of a glimpse in passing with Sheldon Keefe, which is obviously Adam's brother. How did you find Sheldon as a coach?
Oh, I love Sheldon as a coach. He's a great communicator, and he expects a lot out of his guys, as he should, and he gets a lot out of his guys because he has such a good connection with guys in the room that guys want to play for him. Guys love coming to the rink every single day for him to play, and it kind of just, I guess, exemplifies what he does as a coach when you're that excited to come to the rink every day and kind of work your tail off, but it's all for a means to an end. And he certainly is able to bring the best out of guys and expects a lot, and that's kind of what you look for as a coach, and he's able to do that.
You're making the move to Belfast after another season, I should say, in Orlando. But the year before, you played with the Tulsa in the ECHL, and a familiar face which is going to be coming to Belfast with you this year in Cam Knight. So it must be a lot easier for you to come to Belfast with knowing at least one guy in the roster.
Yeah, no, definitely. We had a great year in Tulsa, and I'm definitely excited to kind of rekindle that relationship with him. And I mean, he's a great player, so just to be able to get back on the ice with him and already have some found chemistry with somebody already is definitely something I'm looking to build off of, and to continue to build chemistry with all the other guys too. So that's definitely a super, super important thing.
When you were contacted by Steve and Adam, did you speak to anybody about the EIHL? Have you got any buddies that played here before?
I have a couple buddies that played there like a few years back. I think this is maybe more like 6-7 years back, and he definitely gave me like the lowdown of what's going on, and I'm definitely not as acclimated as I will be. Like, I definitely don't know as much as about the league as maybe the next person, but I think with once I just get acclimated and get into Belfast and get playing, I'm sure I'll pick it up pretty quick. Yeah.
You've obviously played all your career in North Belfast, in North America. Coming to Belfast, the ice being that little bit larger, both width and length. What qualities do you bring as a player? What's your strengths?
I'm gonna have to say my skating, and that's something I'm kind of excited about, to get that a little bit of extra wiggle room out there on the ice to be able to just try and utilize it and make defenders pay. I really love the skate. I feel like I have pretty good up and down speed, and as well as some lateral speed, so I can hopefully bring that with me onto the Olympic ice sheet and be able to just capitalize on that and just be able to produce as much as I can and help the team win games.
I know you're just out of the gym. You've been working out, getting ready for the season. How's your summer going?
It's going great. I'm having a really good summer. Just seeing friends and family. First of all, I come from a fairly big family. I have 4 siblings, so it's always nice to see them all. But more importantly, once you take your few days off, maybe a week off after the season before, just to get back in the gym and work on the skills. And hockey's a 365-day sport, so it's really hard to really take any days off. And it's important to always just be active and doing something. And that's definitely been the type of off season for me. I'm thankful I'm super healthy this off season. Obviously, not every off season goes like that for everybody, so definitely looking to keep this off season going with what's left of it, and make the move to Belfast here soon.
And just to touch on, it's been a difficult 18 months for everybody, but playing in front of fans again, and the fans in Belfast, which you're going to find out very, very soon, love the hockey, love Giants, and I'm sure you must be looking forward to stepping on the ice the first night.
Oh, for sure. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to meet the fans, see the fans. I'm not completely sure what the protocol is. I maybe you have to fill me in with that, but I'm definitely loving to see a filled arena and just being able to just interact with the fans too, because obviously when it comes to professional sports, it's always about the fans. They make it what it is. So definitely looking to just contribute for them and help the team win games.
JJ, listen, I really appreciate your time, mate. Thanks very much indeed, and we'll see you in Belfast soon.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thanks for the time.
JJ Picanich. That's going to be a mouthful for me this year on Belfast Giants TV. Steve, let's go directly to you. I know you're a bit of a stalker when it comes to BU players, and JJ played a year in BU. Obviously, you keep an eye on how those players are doing. Is that how he came about and came to your attention?
Well, I think when I graduated from BU in 1995, we won the national championship. I'm not sure JJ was born, so I'm not sure, which is quite scary. Yeah, no, I do keep an eye on the BU rosters and how players progress. And I saw that he had gone to London, and he's a guy whose name came up previous years as well. I think he was an East Coast All-Star in 2019 and 2020. So he wanted to give it a shot back in North America, and with an odd year that happened with the pandemic, the East Coast League improved quite drastically, and I think we're fortunate to have him. He fills a big need for us as well. Like, he's a right shot, offensive, skilled forward who skates well and makes players around him better. We don't have a lot of right shots, so for us, it's kind of a no-brainer.
The 12th of June, 1996, just for your information, that's when he was born. Adam, again, he touched on that he did play briefly. I mean, he only played 6 games with Sheldon. Did you have a chat with Sheldon about him?
Yeah, I did speak to him. I spoke very highly of JJ. And then I also reached out to his coach in Orlando and Newfoundland and a few others. And everyone had great things to say about JJ, his character, his work ethic on the ice. He's extremely high compete level, guy who plays with some jam, and these are all things that we wanted to add to our culture and also to our team. And, it's proven by he's a winner. And that's another thing that one of the coaches mentioned to me specifically is sometimes when you come across guys who just seem to find ways to win championships, you want to gobble them up. So certainly JJ brings that to us, having won a Memorial Cup and a Kelly Cup in the ECHL as well. So 2 very hard trophies to win. I should know. I have a Memorial Cup myself as well.
No, that's absolutely grand. I don't see it in the background there, but that's okay. Mace, he name dropped a couple of guys who done okay. Matt Tkachuk and Mitch Marner, Christian Dvorak. He went from BU to London Knights, won the Memorial Cup. As didn't know if you knew Kiefer won one as well. But that type of caliber, that type of player that's coming in and having that experience as well with the winning is vitally important in the locker room.
Yeah, absolutely. He's had success at every level, both individually and as a team that he's played. Which is, you can't overestimate how important that is. And he has a lot of experience, and he is only 25, which we really liked as well. He's on the younger side. And we're looking forward to what he can bring to the team, and, excited to see him get going. It's nice that he's played for Sheldon before. The plan is maybe get, Mitch Marner, some of those other guys who played for Sheldon to come on over and play over here at some point. But, no, just joking. But yeah, no, I think, you heard a lot about him there, and I think we're really excited for him. I think the fans should be as well.
Obviously, Mitch Marner is not going to be the next guy that'll be announced, but we'll keep an eye on him. He's not doing too bad in Toronto at the minute. Steve, when you have these caliber of players available, I mean, our age, average age this year for our team's dropping to about 28 years of age. Was that intentional this year?
It is. Yeah. We wanted to get guys coming off that kind of strange pandemic year that, were on their way up, had young legs. The guys did play, possibly didn't play in as many as games as they're used to. We wanted a little bit more speed as well. And it's harder to gauge how quickly the downhill slope is for guys when they get into their mid to late 30s. You're kind of gambling a little bit, and this whole year is a bit of a gamble. So we wanted to reduce that risk, and by lowering the age, we felt we've done that a bit.
Adam, again, just touching on the relationship, obviously, relationship with your brother, but when you're reaching out to these coaches, how important is it that, is it one of those things where the coaches always tell you the truth and then say, oh, yeah, he's a great guy and he's great in the locker room, or, do they throw in the odd, you want to stay clear of this guy?
Well, I won't reveal my names, but no. So I mean, yeah, you trust the coaches, but certainly when you know the person, you trust their opinion a little bit more, just because that person's not going to sugarcoat it. But certainly, the majority of coaches are pretty honest, and it all comes back around. As much as I'm asking for references on players, other coaches will come and ask about players in this league or on this team that we've played in Belfast. So you certainly want to stick to your word and give a true evaluation of the player.
And Mace, just I want to go back to the video side of things. Looking at when you were watching JJ and watching clips of what he's done for Tulsa and Orlando and Newfoundland and the Marlies and what have you, what stood out for you?
I think he's a skilled player that plays hard. And those aren't always easy to find. I think watching him last year, he played on a very deep, very good Orlando team. So, as Stephen mentioned before, the East Coast League was a very, very good league last year, and a lot of good players couldn't find jobs in there. So a lot of people, maybe if you look at some of their numbers might have been a bit down. And if you look at JJ, his numbers were a little bit down from the year before in Tulsa, but he had a very good year on a very good team, where ice time was hard to come by. So just being able to watch a lot of that stuff and see is very helpful for us. And I think like I said, I think he's a skilled player that plays hard, and I think he'll fit in well on our team.
Okay, so JJ Piconich has been announced. There's one more guy to come. And I might as well just share it with you now. So here goes. So welcome Griffin Reinhardt to Belfast, and a signing which is coming towards the end of our signing season. You're coming to Belfast in just a few weeks' time. And how did the move come about for you?
I got a message from the coach on Facebook and told me about the programs that they offer there. I've had a friend of mine that went over a couple years ago before the pandemic, and he got his university degree. He said it was a lot of fun over there, and just told me that he thought I'd be interested in it, and I thought before I finished playing hockey, it'd be nice to get a degree under my belt, and then just see where it goes. But I've heard a lot of good things about Belfast in that league. So
another ex-player is promoting Belfast. Who was it? Who were you chatting to?
He wasn't promoting Belfast specifically. He played for, I think, Manchester, maybe. It was Johnny Negrin, a friend of mine who's a couple years older, but he played there a few years ago.
Okay, good. Listen, it's one of those things where we're getting that a lot. We're getting a lot of ex-players from not just Belfast, but from the league who are promoting the IHL, which is a fantastic thing as well, because it's a good standard of hockey. We want you to come here and be successful, but obviously the schooling is obviously an important point for you as well.
Yeah, for sure. I've heard Belfast, they're always one of the top in the league. They compete to win it every year, which is, I'm going there, and it's still my job is to play hockey. It's just this year's going to be a little different where I have to balance some school with it as well. So it's been a while since I've had to do that. But I'm excited for the challenge, and hopefully another successful year we can have.
You were drafted in 2012, 4th overall. You have some pretty good stock in the Reinhardt family. Your brother, Sam, who plays for Florida now, and your dad, both drafted in the first round as well.
Yeah, no, it's growing up with that, and my older brothers played some games for Calgary too before he had to retire due to injuries. But yeah, I just feel it's normal for our family. You know, like a lot of people ask, "What's it like?" But for me, it's just how I grew up. It feels completely normal having a hockey family.
And again, you got to play in the NHL, every kid's dream. But you've spent the last couple of years traveling the world. You've been to you played in the DEL last season, and the year before you played in Beijing in the KHL. How was that experience for you?
It was actually a lot of fun. You know, we had spent 2 weeks in Beijing, and then we were the only team in China, so we had spent 2 weeks in Russia. So it was a lot of time on the road. I was only there for a few months, and obviously it was pre-pandemic. But I left right before the worst of it got started, so I was kind of lucky to get out of there in time. But it was a lot of fun. You know, it's my first time being to China or that part of the world. Language was a bit tough. There wasn't a lot of English speaking there, but it was fun though. It was a good experience, and you know, something I'll remember forever.
There's not a lot of English spoken in Belfast either. The accents are very hard to pick up. So hopefully you'll get the hang of that very quickly as well. We touched on the DEL last season. That opportunity, did you play on the bigger ice surface? Is that something that you're going to get used to coming to Belfast as well?
Yeah, actually, I don't even know. I'm assuming the ice surface is bigger in Belfast too. Yeah, so like I've played in, you know, the KHL is usually bigger ice surface too. The DEL, obviously being bigger ice surface, so I'm used to it. And, you know, it's a little bit different, you know, angles and stuff, but I don't think it makes that much of a difference. You don't notice it a whole lot when you're out there, especially after a couple games.
So, Griffin Reinhart, what can we expect from you? What type of player can the Belfast Giants fans expect coming in to play for the Giants this year?
I've always, you know, like to play a defensive role. You know, I'm a defenseman. That's my first job. So I like to try to lock things down. And then if I can contribute offensively, it's usually a bonus. But I think last year I proved I can do it a little bit. You know, I like being on the PK. I played on the power play last year too. So just, you know, just overall, like just steady. I'm not going to be that flashy, but just gets the job done, I hope.
And again, coming in for it's not too far away to get the season started here in the UK. What have you been doing with yourself over the summer?
Just, well, you know, when I first got back, it was still kind of a lockdown, so there wasn't a lot to do. But I've just started skating again, going out on the ice with my brother. You know, I've been going to the gym, and then in terms of not training, a lot of golf. I've heard there's a lot of nice golf courses out in Belfast or Ireland, so hopefully I'll bring my clubs and get to experience some of that too.
Absolutely. Bring your clubs with you. We hope to have a golf tournament either announced just before you get here, or I've let the cat out of the bag already. So we will be having a Belfast Giants golf tournament this year.
Perfect.
Listen, I really appreciate your time. Look forward to meeting you in Belfast in a couple of weeks' time. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your summer. And we'll see you soon.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
Griffin Reinhart, 6'4", defenseman, left shot, joins the Belfast Giants. Steve, again, you know, coming across a guy of this caliber, and the university has basically probably been the deciding factor in that. Is that right?
Yeah. I mean, the university has been huge for us over the last decade. Really, we've I think graduated close to 50 plus players, and you know, you multiply that by all of their friends and all of their friends' friends. Like, word gets out. The hockey world is a small community, and the reputation we have in Belfast for helping progress players is important to us. Like, it helps us secure some pretty good signings. I think we've had a couple of good ones over the last few years.
Adam, this guy won a Memorial Cup. Do you know anybody else that won a Memorial Cup?
We're just trying to build a team full of champions, Simon, and then the rest happens for us.
Yeah, two WHL titles and a Memorial Cup for the Edmonton Oil Kings, and then obviously being drafted number 4 overall. At that age, he was certainly, you know, one of the top prospects in the world.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, he's got a high pedigree, and you know, with that comes great experience, and that's something that we were really excited to get. You know, when we finally got pen to paper with Griffin, that we were adding, you know, a type of a player like Griffin that has that experience, and he can bring that to a relatively young team and a relatively young back end. So to have him come in and to have played at the level he has in the NHL, the American League, the KHL, and the DEL last season, and if you look at his numbers last season, the DEL, he was an impact player for them there. So certainly a big get for us, and we're really excited about it. And he's another player that when I reached out to his coaches, everyone had positive things to say. Great player, great teammate, great character, and he's a winner. So it was a no-brainer for us to bring him here to Belfast.
Mace, just touch on what Adam said there. Another winner coming into the locker room. He realized every North American kid's dream to get to play in the NHL. Being drafted at number 4. Again, the pedigree that this guy has, especially the family. The brother Sam's playing for Florida Panthers right now. I think he was drafted number 2 overall, and his dad was drafted number 12 overall. So, it's got a really good pedigree from stock from that family.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And like Adam said, the reports from all his coaches were top notch. I know that he had plenty of options this summer. So the fact that he chose us is really big for us. And we really hope that he's going to be able to, really be a rock on the back end there for us and help bring along some of our younger players and where they can lean on his experience and his knowledge and really be a really big player for us. And obviously his resume speaks for itself, and that he has the skill and the hockey knowledge to play in some of those places is really impressive. And again, I feel like we're saying it all the time, but we're just really looking forward to getting him over here and getting this team together and getting started.
Steve, again, it's been a lot of hard work over the last 18 months, maybe longer, in certain players. Getting a player of Griffin Reinhardt's caliber in and announced as technical. Well, I wouldn't say the last player, but he's a guy in there that you must be pleased to add to the roster.
Yeah, we are. We love that calming influence on the back end. Like Jim Vandermeer provided us that for a good couple of years. And the D-men just play more minutes in general. Like, he's a guy that can play 25 minutes a night for us. It just give confidence to whoever he's playing with, and ultimately make our team better. That's kind of what we're after. Like, whether he's wearing a C or an A, he's going to be a leader. And like Adam touched on, when guys get a taste of winning, they want it again and again and again. So you try to build a team like that. He certainly ticks a lot of boxes for us, Simon.
Adam, it's been a long, 563, I think it says, 543 days since the last Belfast Giants game, and putting the roster together and putting that jigsaw in place. You must be just looking forward to getting the boys here and getting on the ice.
Yeah, essentially we've had 2 summers worth of recruitment rolled into one here, and once you get the players signed and the visa process starts, it's all about getting them here and getting them gelling and becoming a team, and then that's the goal, and that starts in a couple weeks.
Mace, have you been on the ice this? I know Adam's been boasting about being on the ice and scoring 4 goals past Dicko in the last couple of days. Have you been on the ice quickly?
I got on once last week. I'll be out there. I get out there tomorrow as well. But he's definitely got me. He's got me beat so far in the summer skates. And
Griffin was talking about being a bit of a golfer as well. So I'm sure you'll take him under your wing doing that side of things.
Yeah, we'll try. We'll try.
Well, I did say about a golf day. The Belfast Giants OSC are going to organise a golf day this year. Details to be announced, hopefully soon. And the membership of the OSC will be coming your way very, very shortly as well. So keep an eye on the social media platforms. Adam, I just want to touch on one thing regarding the social media. Griffin mentioned there that how important the social media aspect of things can come into it, because you reached out to him through Facebook.
Yeah, it's I guess what's the quote there? You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So with Griffin, I noticed that he was uncontracted for this coming season, and certainly a player I probably, if I'm honest, thought, I know that he would have offers from leagues that are quite frankly better or at least higher paying, and we just wanted to throw a stab in the dark that maybe he's interested in school and set up here in Belfast, and it just turned out that he was. So it's a huge tool for us to be able to contact players directly, because sometimes they don't know about these opportunities, and we're very lucky that it worked out with Griffin.
So Griffin Reinhardt is on the roster for the Belfast Giants this year, and there's another 19 to join him, or is it 18? I can't remember. So let's have a look at the full roster that has been put together by the three gentlemen below me, or around the left-hand side of me as well. Obviously, starting off at the back end in the net, Jackson Whistle, Tyler Beskerwani, and Andrew Dixon. When you're talking about defensemen, San Root, Jeff Baum, Mark Garside, Kevin Rain, Griffin Reinhardt, who we just announced, and Cam Knight. And then the forwards, Lewis Hook, Ben Lake, Scott Conway, JJ Pickenich, Darcy Murphy, Slater Doggett, Mark Cooper, Jordan Boucher, not Boucher, Boucher, David Goodwin, Tyler Soy, and Kieran Long. Now, that's just what season in front of you, folks. That's not the lines that's going to be put out this year. That's just numerical order. So it's up to Adam and Jeff and Rob Stewart to put their lines together over the next few weeks of practice. But Adam, just going into that, you've got your work done off the ice. Your preparation, how's it going for the start of the season?
Yeah, it's going well. I think we've Mace and Stewie and myself have had some conversations here throughout the pandemic and leading up into this summer, and we're pretty confident in the way that we want to play, and we're excited to get them here and lay out a structure, and then obviously from there we gotta become a team, and that's obviously that starts on day one, that we want to gel and we want to be a cohesive group, and we want those guys playing for each other and playing for the city. And I think that with the players and the references that we've got on the guys that are coming in here, we've got great character guys that should fit right into the culture here in Belfast.
Yes, just from a defenseman point of view, you've got a lot of experience, or it's really weird to say this. Mark Garside, 31 years of age, or nearly 32. He's going to be the old hand out there at the minute. I know he looks a bit younger, but when you've got Gary coming back, you get Griffin Reinhardt, and again a couple of younger guys coming into the lineup. How as a pro's been around for a few years, what sort of coaching, sort of mentoring is important from the defensive point of view?
Well, I think we've got a really good mix on our D-core of, as you said, guys with experience, but not just guys with experience, of guys with a lot of experience in this league, in Kevin Rain and Mark Garside. Obviously, we just talked about Reinhardt and all the experience and things that he brings. JJ talked a bit about his previous experience with Cam Knight, and then the two young ones, Baum and Rupp there. I think we've got a really good, combination of skill on the back end, but also guys that are big bodies, can play physical, but an experience, a mix of experience and young, hungry guys. And we've talked a lot about, Kiefer and Stewie and I about, what we want to be in the D zone and how we want to play. And I think that this combination of players, fits right into what we want to do, and we're really excited to see what they can do together.
Steve, we're picking up messages that are coming through there, and you're putting them on the bottom of the screen. It really has, the Giants fans are really looking forward to getting back in the building again. And as I say, I'm not saying that your job here is done, but the jigsaw puzzle you've put together this year, you must be happy.
No, yeah, we're extremely happy. It's been a long haul, like Adam said. Like, we've almost spent 2 years building this team, and there was a lot of uncertainty and unknowns. So we've been contacting a lot of players and a lot of agents, and we kind of knew what we wanted to not fix from last year's team, but we knew the areas we wanted to get better. The coaches have a good idea as how they want to play, and if you're going to be coached by Adam Keefe, you're going to want to be fast and aggressive, and that's just kind of the way that I think he is. That's the way that the identity of the team should be, and I think we were missing a little bit of that last year. So on paper, we're really excited that we've ticked a lot of the boxes that we wanted. The reality is that we won't know how good they are until we see them on the ice. Like we feel like we've done really well, and we're hoping everybody's going to come in healthy and in good shape and ready to hit the ground running. The league looks really good this year as well. Obviously, seeing Cardiff have success in the CHL and looking at the signings the other teams are making, it's going to be a solid league this year. Like one of those seasons, I think that everybody is going to beat everybody on any given night. So we need to be ready. And from our point of view, we certainly wouldn't swap this roster for anybody's right now.
We're going to start taking questions from you very shortly. So if you have any questions, send them in to us now. Adam, just want to touch on what Steve said there about the competition. Obviously, you were mentioning earlier that you've seen both Cardiff games at the weekend. They had a huge result against Lausanne on Saturday night, I think it was. And you just knew that the likes of Cardiff, Nottingham, Sheffield, and the others as well are going to put together a good roster heading into this season.
Yeah, I mean, it would be no surprise to us. It's been that way for I think since I've come over here. So we know that other teams in this league are going to be good. And recently, probably the last 3, 4, 5 years, I would say every team is competitive, and it's a grind every night. So we need to be prepared, and we need to worry about ourselves. So we are aware that there's other teams that are going to be very good. And we need to be one of them teams. And then, once we are one of them teams, we're in the fight. And once we're in the fight, we need to find that consistency level and become a team. And I think that, that's the challenge of the coaching staff to put the players in the right spots to have success.
Okay, we do have a few questions that have been sent in by some of the fans. So if we can get one or two of the questions up there now, we will start answering them as we see them coming along the bottom of the screen. Mace, I just wanted to actually, Steve, you can go to this one. Obviously, with the way things are and the current situation of the COVID restrictions and obviously the movement of teams, even on mainland Europe, there hasn't been a lot of teams that have been traveling outside their own country to get friendly games. So what's the announcement on the question from Gary Creek, sir?
Yeah, well, the friendly games are difficult. Like we see so much of these teams in the UK throughout the season, 65 plus games, that we like to have the preseason games against international competition or the Canadian universities like we've done in the past, and it just wasn't feasible with the uncertainty around the restrictions and some of the pencils that we had in the diary with the arena. So the way that the schedule worked out for us this year, getting guys in, getting a good amount of time, playing against each other on the ice in practice, and then jumping right into the Challenge Cup games against some of the Scottish teams, we felt that was probably the best for us. We certainly didn't want to travel either for our first few exhibition games. We wanted to host them. So that's kind of where we're at right now.
Mace, again, it's not ideal with regards to friendly games. I know it's a very difficult task, and Steve's just covered that part of things. But first game against Dundee in Dundee, it's never an easy place to go to.
No, it's certainly not. It's probably our longest travel day, and going in there, and they play very hard and have over the last few years under Omar Pasha played really well at home. So it's not an easy place to start, but we'll do our best in trying to get guys as prepared going in there to know what they're going into and making sure we're ready to play. And if the last year and a half has taught us anything, that it's that we're not always going to have the most ideal circumstances for things. So we've just got to make the best of it. And, I'm confident that with the team that we have, we'll be able to go in there and be competitive and find a way to put on a good showing.
Adam, I know there's an awful lot of fans wanting to head over to those games in Scotland against Dundee and Fife. And obviously you play Fife the next night. I think it's a Sunday night in the Fife Arena. So, again, on the road to start the season off, a ferry day, getting across on the ferry, which is going to be a lot new to new venture for a lot of players that are coming in. How did you deal with that? Because it just announced there today that I believe you were coaching for 10 years in Belfast now from today.
It doesn't feel like that long. But no, I mean, I remember my first ferry experience. I enjoyed it. It's a leisurely trip across, but there are some players that do struggle with that first one and feel a little bit queasy on that bus ride along the coast there, Scotland. So I anticipate that there'll be some guys that will struggle through that a little bit, but at the end of the day, these guys have been on a lot longer bus rides. Sometimes in the ECHL there's 12, 15-hour bus trips. So up the North Coast or up the Scottish coastline is not a bad trip at all. So, but to touch on just kind of the no friendly matches, that's, we still have 2 weeks to kind of prepare these guys, and that's on the coaching staff to make sure that the level of compete in practices and against each other in the little scrimmage games that we play, prepare them as best we can for that first weekend in Scotland.
Well, just the way you're touching on that, there's a question coming in from Rory Cockers. Was it easier we'll go to Steve in this one, was it easier to get players this season from the NCAA with no draft, etc., with COVID affecting things?
Actually, no. It was probably harder this year because the NCAA made a rule where they were able to grant all players an extra year of eligibility. So a lot of the senior players that we would normally look at after their 4th season with the university, they now have the option to go and get their 5th and possibly get a master's degree. It may have worked against us, but we're happy with where we ended up. We got a couple of players that we think are going to be great for us from the NCAA.
Okay, let's take another question. And again, I think we might be back to Steve on this one. Steve, Lucy Sullivan on to ask, when are tickets going on sale?
That's a good one. Yeah, like we're obviously ready with the season tickets. This Thursday, we're hoping for some good news on an announcement from the NI executive in relation to the restrictions. So for us, when we have a little bit more clarity on what we can and can't do in the building, that's kind of when we'll put the tickets on sale. We've been kind of doing a lot of work behind the scenes to get prepared and be ready. But right now the Scotland, England, and Wales are open with no social distancing. We're in that kind of holding pattern a little bit, so we're just a little bit behind.
Okay. Now there's a lot of questions coming through regarding their perfect timer regarding jerseys and side of things. Now I know we do have plans to do a fan night at the SSA Arena. Please keep an eye on the social media pages over the next few days. It will be announced in the next few days or next week or so. Jersey details for the jersey launch will be announced as well. So make sure you keep an eye on that. It's getting real now, folks. As I say, we're less than 4 weeks away to our first game against the Dundee Stars in Dundee, and then a week later, our first game in Belfast again. This is against Dundee, isn't it? Yeah, it is. It's against Dundee. I keep on forgetting. But Adam, everybody loves going on the road and getting an away game, especially a Belfast Giants fan. They do like a tipple or two. But you must be looking forward to getting back into Belfast and playing in front of your own fans at the SSA Arena.
Yeah, I've said it many times before. That's the kind of one of the driving forces about throughout this pandemic, about just kind of looking forward to the first game back at the SSC and getting to enjoy that with the fans. Because I think that if we took the Belfast Giants and for granted before, we certainly won't now. And I think that that goes from the entire staff right through to the fan base, and the players. So I know we certainly have some players, returning players, that are really looking forward to coming back and excited to get back and excited for the opportunity to come back. Throughout the pandemic, obviously things are uncertain for the players as well in terms of jobs and what they're going to do. And some guys retired, and some guys were forced to retire. So certainly looking forward to that first game at the arena, and hopefully we can make it a memorable one for everybody in the building.
Mace, you've been there both as a new player coming to the SSC and as a coach going on the bench for the first time. What's your memories from obviously stepping out on the ice for the first time in front of the fans?
It's a great atmosphere. I think it's an unreal city to come play in. to be a member on the team. And, obviously we've got great fan support, starting from Boomerang Corner and working its way all the way around the building. And I think those are the things, if you look back on, that everyone's missed so much and can't wait to get back in and experience some more, hopefully great times, in the building in the near future.
And Steve, you've got to answer the same question again. It's a wee bit further back when you were playing, both in the Super League and the Elite League era. But going back the whole way to 2001, I believe you came in here, and the fans. There's a lot of old faces have stayed, loyal to the Belfast Giants fan base, and obviously every year you're looking to build on that and get more guys to come back.
We are, and I think Adam hit the nail on the head there, where a lot of people that have been for 20 years, you may just start getting used to the Giants, or not necessarily take for granted, because I don't think people take us for granted. But at the same time, I think people will appreciate us more, and we certainly appreciate it more now, just being back in hockey. I think that's what we're all here for. That's what we really enjoy. And that year that I came in 2001, I think I was off for roughly 18 months. Being injured, not knowing if I was going to be able to play again, coming back off an knee injury that I had, and missing that much time actually made me hungrier. I came and had a pretty good year that year. We won a trophy, and that's kind of what we're hoping a lot of the guys are going to come and do. Like, guys have almost had hockey taken away from them. Some of the guys that didn't get a chance to play, I think they're going to hit the ground running.
I know I said I wouldn't put you on the spot with regards to your roster this year, Adam, but I'm going to anyway. Who are you looking forward? Now, again, it can be a returning player or it can be a new player. Who are you looking forward to seeing what impact they may have on the team this year? And don't be sitting on the fence.
I'm looking forward to seeing them all over here, but I think the number one guy I always look forward to every year, seeing every day and first day of camp, is our own Andrew Dixon. He's always a lot of fun, so I'm looking forward to see. I heard he's in the best shape of his life, so we're looking forward to seeing him at camp.
I think he's our oldest player this year too, isn't he?
He is. He's a veteran leader this year, and he's really excited about it.
He's one of those guys. I mean, you both, the three of you know what impact he has in the locker room. He's one of those guys in the locker room that you really need. Now, whether or not it's to have poke a bit of fun at, or to add a wee bit of a few mannerisms and come up with some great nicknames, Gary. But he is important to have around the room, Jeff.
Yeah, he certainly is, and I think sometimes people might underestimate the importance of his role. Certainly from a team standpoint, he saves our goalies. He's out there in practice every day and giving them rest, and making sure that they can do what they need to do. And he's just from a morale standpoint, he's a great guy. Good friend of mine. As you said, he's our kind of resident translator for what some people are talking about sometimes, because there's a lot of we've been here long enough, but there's a lot of guys that have no idea what people are saying or talking about. So he's just a great human being. And the only time I like seeing him get upset is when Kiefer scores on him in practice, because it ruins his day. But other than that, I love seeing him smile. He's a great guy.
Yeah, Adam. I mean, it doesn't happen very often, but he does not like you against him.
I was going to say the opposite. It happens quite a bit to him, unfortunately.
I hope he's watching. You might end up getting a stick helicopter towards you tomorrow morning. We're approaching the end of the show here, folks. Adam, it's I know it's one of those things where it's been a long journey, and we'll have to thank all the Belfast Giants fans for bearing with us over the last 543 days since the last of the season. And I know the club hopes to bring in some more news, exciting news of preparations heading in towards the season.
Yeah, I think obviously we're very excited to get going, and looking forward to it. And once we're able to get everybody here and get on our feet, that's when the fun begins.
Steve, can you add anything to that?
No, that's it. I think the next 2 to 3 weeks are going to be chaos with players arriving, and we're so keen on having that kind of first impression be a good one. So we're going to be trying to get the apartments ready and the cars ready, and whatever we do with practices and whether we do an event and those types of things. I think we're just excited to see people back in the building, but like that is the focus, and it's a good nervousness now. Like we haven't had this nervousness in a while with players arriving at different dates and getting all the paperwork done and all the induction meetings ready and having the equipment and just that time pressure of these first impressions. And I think that's what we're here for. That's what we enjoy. We love kind of that locker room atmosphere and being around the guys. So it's just exciting again, Simon.
Yeah, Mace, again next week. The boys start to arrive in on the ice the following Monday. It's getting closer.
Yeah, it's been a long time, and like everyone else, I'm just excited to get going and getting the team back out on the ice and getting started.
Well, Adam, Steve, Mace, thank you very much for joining us tonight. We've announced Griffin Reinhardt and JJ Picanich as the latest two players to join the Belfast Giants roster. A couple of notes that, as I say, we touched on the OSC membership. Keep an eye on both the OSC pages, their Facebook and Twitter, and it'll hit the Belfast Giants page in the next few days as well regarding membership. We will be having some exclusive events for members only of the OSC. So we appreciate your membership over the last few years. Obviously, we missed last year with the COVID pandemic, but we're back, and we'll be adding those events in the very near future as well. So lastly, and I know you're Mason and Steve and Adam would probably want to pass their comments on as well. I've seen young Blake. I know he's watching from Great Ormond Street Hospital. He had a private jet yesterday that took him over for his latest operation. We're all thinking about you, Blake, and hopefully you're going to smash these next few tests and get back on it again. Adam, again, he's one of your best buddies.
Yeah, no, I mean he's one of the toughest kids that I know for sure, and he's been a big part of this team and this organization since the day he stepped foot in the arena. And we're all pulling for him, and we know that he's gonna come back and be one of our biggest fans. So we're really looking forward to seeing Blakey again when he can get back, and it's safe to see him. So good luck, Blakey, and we'll see you soon.
Yeah, Blake, as I say, get well soon, and we'll hope to see you back at the arena. As every other Belfast Giants fan as well, we want to see you back at the arena. We want to see you cheer and get your colours on. You get your new jerseys and all. Will be coming very shortly as well. Folks, thank you very much for joining us. Thanks for bearing with us. It's been a long, long journey, but 26 more sleeps to the first game against the Dundee Stars in Dundee Arena. So thanks for joining us, and good night.